Ronaldinho is Ronaldinho. Anderson is Anderson. This is what Anderson said when he moved to Manchester United in a move that could have set him up for greatness. But what transpired in the years that followed led to him going from a Golden Ball winner to winning the Champions League and Copa America to almost dying in a car accident, retiring from the game at just 31 and allegedly being involved in a robbery. Quite the rollercoaster ride, it seems. So what happened to this bright career? And where is he now? Keep watching to find out. Anderson was born in Porto Alegre and started his career with Grêmio, just like Ronaldinho. So the comparisons with the two-time World Player of the Year were inevitable. But that was not in Anderson's mind. For him, football was all about survival. After losing his beloved father at the age of 14 to a heart attack, he was the oldest son and suddenly the head of the family. So while most of his teenage friends turned to drugs at a young age and found solace in violence and crime, he could not afford such a luxury. Naturally, he found solace in something much better: football. Much of the credit for his early success has to go to his mother Doralice, who helped him in every way she could. She worked 2 shifts to make ends meet and ensure that her 4 children had the best life possible. Any money Anderson would earn would go to her and his 3 younger siblings. Fortunately for Anderson, he started to earn a salary at just the age of 14. Soon enough though, all the trials of Anderson and his family were about to end. Anderson started his first ever youth game at the age of 16, scoring a glorious free kick to beat Grêmio's arch rivals Internacional. More on this rivalry later. And while Grêmio were relegated from the Brazilian First Division, Anderson's performances remained consistent in a do-or-die playoff against Náutico, where had Grêmio lost, they could have faced liquidation. And in their worst nightmare, Grêmio were down to 7 men after a protest against a wrongly awarded penalty. As the game restarted after a 20-minute break, the penalty was taken, and in a dramatic turn of events, it was saved by the goalie. The keeper took control of the ball, saw Anderson on the left wing, who was on his bike in no time. He was brought down with a devastating tackle, but instead of staying down, he kept running, went past 2 other defenders to score and send Grêmio back to the top flight. The nightmare turned into a majestic dream. On the international stage, he was a budding superstar as well. The Brazil side, with him as the main man, won the South American Under-17 Championship with him scoring 5 times. Later, he won the Golden Ball in the Under-17 World Cup, an accolade he shares with the likes of Cesc Fabregas and Toni Kroos. He was inspirational in that tournament, helping Brazil steam through the likes of Netherlands, North Korea, and Turkey, only to go off injured in the final, which Brazil lost 3-0 due to the absence of their talisman. These incredible performances led to Anderson moving to Europe with Porto as his preferred destination, which was a well-known path for several Portuguese-speaking Brazilian youngsters. Anderson, in his early days, was a truly unique footballer. While he had the extraordinary dribbling skills you associate with any Brazilian player, he also had the strength and finesse to complement the dribbling. Another quality of his early days was blistering pace, a quality he generally lost as he declined. He was not afraid to take a heavy touch and chase the ball, as he felt confident he would beat the defender to it. Scoring goals is all about confidence, and the young Brazilian was never short of it. He would get on his bike every now and then and score some majestic goals to help Grêmio and Brazil. In Portugal, Anderson was seen as the next big thing. Joining the club in January, he was protected by the club so that no club knew about him until they had a full season with him. As the new season started, he was given the number 10 shirt and started his first ever Champions League game in no time. But an unfortunate leg-breaking injury sustained against rivals Benfica kept him out for months, also taking some of his natural pace with it. Despite an injury-laden spell in Portugal, his talent was obvious for everyone to see. Although he scored just thrice in less than 20 games, it was enough to turn heads and led to Jose Mourinho's Chelsea and Real Madrid showing interest in him. Sir Alex sent his brother to Portugal to scout the young Brazilian. As he came back, they had an interesting conversation as revealed in the biography of Sir Alex. Martin said, "Alex, he's better than Rooney. For Christ's sake, don't say that," I told him. "He'll need to be good to be better than Rooney." Martin was adamant. This comparison with Wayne Rooney was not unjustified for a player who had similar pace, strength, and finishing as the United legend. So Alex didn't hesitate in flocking out £20 million for the mercurial midfielder, a truly significant fee at the time. Think about it. Anderson had not even started 30 games in professional football, but such were his performances that it persuaded the very shrewd Scottish manager to spend a sizable fee on him. 4 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, 1 Golden Boy title, and 2 League Cups in 8 years might look like a highly successful stint for Anderson at United. United fans would remember Anderson fondly for 2 things. 1. Scoring a crucial penalty in the Champions League final to keep United in the hunt. 2. Starring in the 8-2 thrashing of Arsenal. But the thing is, it could have been much, much more. Raphael, a friend of Anderson at United, said in his autobiography, "I will say something about Anderson. If he had been a professional football player, he could have been the best in the world. I'm saying this was all seriousness. I don't know if he ever took anything seriously. He just loved life in such an easy and casual way." At United, Anderson was always known for his jolly nature. He could barely take anything seriously, and according to Raphael, that could be one of the reasons for his demise. He mentioned one particular addiction of Anderson in these words: "We could be on the team coach and pass the services on the motorway, and Anderson would jump up impulsively and yell, 'McDonald's, McDonald's!' Such was his love for food that he could not control himself around it. Or perhaps he had faced so much adversity already in his life, he had already achieved enough, and it was time to celebrate." Another reason why he could not kick on as a football great was the constant injuries he endured. Perhaps the most significant one happened in 2009-10, which saw Anderson tear his ACL, and so when he returned, he had completely lost the burst of pace that made him a superstar in Brazil. When Michael Owen was asked to describe Anderson, he said, "He was a pretty relaxed guy, maybe too relaxed at times. He loved being out there with the ball at his feet, but he did not bother about weights or anything really. Him getting back from injuries was often a slow process." Anderson would often get distracted by the glitzy nightlife of Europe, especially when he was out injured. One such instance happened in 2010 when he was out injured. While partying with his friends in Portugal, Anderson was completely drunk, but still decided to drive his Audi R8 himself. As he was driving, his car got off the road and crashed into the wall of a farm before ending up in a field. Anderson was unconscious inside the car. Had he not been pulled out of the car, the then 21-year-old could have died on the spot as the car exploded minutes later. Fortunately for Anderson, he survived the crash unscathed and healthy. While he may not have been as successful as first thought, he was still loved by Sir Alex, who played him at every opportunity possible. And we all know that Sir Alex hated freeloaders like anything, but he always saw Anderson for what he originally was, a truly audacious talent. And if he had stayed fit and healthy, Sir Alex would have made sure that he realized his true potential. As Sir Alex left in 2013, the time of Anderson at United was over. He was initially sent on loan before being sold to Internacional by Louis van Gaal. The first mistake Anderson did upon moving to Brazil was that he moved to Grêmio's rival club Internacional. This lost him the affection of thousands of people who loved and adored him. To add insult to injury, Grêmio beat Internacional 5-0 in a truly humiliating defeat. In one game, Anderson lasted just 36 minutes before getting subbed off and needing an oxygen mask due to the effects of high altitude. At the end of that season, Internacional got relegated to the second tier for the first time in their history. Do you think that is the end of the story? Not at all, as Anderson joined Coritiba on loan and they also got relegated in the next season. 3 relegations in 5 years meant that Anderson was seen as jinxed with not much interest left in his services. Things were made worse by his high wages as no Brazilian club wanted him. Going 6 months without a club, Anderson signed for Turkish second division club Adana Demirspor, with his friends Quaresma and Pepe praising the atmosphere in Turkey. Unfortunately for Anderson, even that spell didn't work out as the Turkish side only played him 12 times in 2 years. Finally, at the age of 31, unfit and unwanted, Anderson was forced to hang up his boots. In a truly bizarre incident, Anderson was one of 8 accused people arrested for involvement in a robbery. The accused was suspected of laundering money through cryptocurrency after a robbery, with Anderson also allegedly involved in the laundering of £4.7 million. Anderson denied any such claims but accepted that he was a crypto trader. As the investigation lingers on, it represents another adversity in a life filled with numerous of them for the Brazilian. Currently, Anderson is the assistant manager at Adana Demirspor, and we hope that he can become a great manager one day and manage one of Europe's elite. What is your favorite memory of Anderson? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more such videos. See you next time.